about 16,000 in total, and I think that it's slowly filling up already. And tomorrow's grand finals is going to be epic. And now, let's head into our first picks and bans, as we'll see on 10 Seconds Game Plus. Starting off the ban here with Helgert as well as the Carrot being removed.
I think they're doing the wave in the crowd.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're setting it up. They're trying to set up the wave.
I can hear it from right down below here.
All right.
You know, that's definitely one.
There it
Round.
is. Okay, respect. Where are you guys? You need to come down here and be a part of the community. But let's go into the game where the first pick is about to be selected for the side of 10 Seconds Gaming. Helkert, Kimmy out of the picture. Exporting is going to be the pick. Todak, Raphaelia, and Harith are out of the picture.
We saw that Export coming in for 10 Seconds Gaming Plus yesterday, where they just went on that jungle raid, stole every single thing that they have on the table, and now Rock will be taken in for E1.
Very good opening coming in from Todak here. Grok, solid pick overall. Doesn't matter what comp you have. You have a Grok, you have some form of control of wave clear and early game pressure. They're kind of telling you, okay, we have a split push component. What's going to be our 4? We're going to let you decide who's going to be the first pick. That means Gushing is not going to be exactly the best mate going into this, so they might want to pick up the Lunox for themselves this time around for 10 Second Gaming. Ooh,
Wow.
Selena! I like the aggression. 50% mechanics to make it work.
And speaking of risk here, 10 Seconds Gaming Plus only takes calculated risk. And we've seen these Selena before, just about yesterday on that game 2 where they managed to secure so many kills with that Abyssal Arrow landing the shots. Look out for that. So Masha though, what do you feel about Masha as you see a lot of disruptive units heading in for the picks of 10 Seconds Gaming Plus? Can that Masha push effectively?
I think Masha should be able to push pretty decently. She just has to be very aware, because once you know the presence of Selena is in the map, you can kind of tell, okay, she's going to go for early rotation. All the time. The only problem I feel right now is that Selena could be put into that support position, and then that kind of opens up, oh no, wait, still go for It's kind of the trade-off here, not to mention that Kaga is still on the table.
I definitely would agree with that in that sort of sense where I would still prefer her going on that DPS trend in that sort of sense though, but Chang is that sort of a pick where they're just going to be focusing on a whole lot of that team fighting stuff. Going for that Lolita that
Yeah, I think getting rid of the counter pick is smart here. The only downside I see is on people that use the way to just not have to chill pick coming into 10 Seconds Gaming here. Again, a lot of picks, but then you need to know who it is so we can kind of determine what the team composition lineup from 10 Second Gaming is. But so far, Chiku locking in that Granger, it's looking good.
Wow, looking well indeed. And that's going to be a counter that we mentioned even before the draft. A partial advantage. I'm not really sure what to feel about it, but there's enough DPS coming from Selena anyways.
Well, I mean, they've seen, it's not like we haven't seen this before. Yesterday, they did the exact same thing against Axis Esports here. What's really interesting is that they have Selena to try and play that early game. They want to use Export as a replacement for the marksman. He's going to be running around with the 2 tanks as a 1-3-1 composition with Selena sort of, deviating and rotating between the lanes. Going to be the Valir. This is what he's doing. Yes, he is good. One Abyssal Arrow, he's first. And I think it's like a good 50-50 here.
Yep, and speaking of 50-50s here, for the fans, they're definitely ready for this game one to just unfold. But speaking of that sort of a point that you just made there, who's going to come up online first? I feel like Todak, their strength will only lie from mid-game onwards. Early game,
That's true.
maybe it's really based on how the Grok's going to be setting the tempo up. But after that, they really got to make sure that they set it up. And now, of course, this will be the 10 players on the field getting ready. Blue side, we have 10 seconds game plus. Todak on the red. And let's talk about how they will pace themselves. You mentioned about that 1-3-1. And I think that to 10 seconds gaming as well as Todak, they faced that before. They're not appealing for that. And now we're about to hit towards that first game. Of course, just keeping you guys on your seat. So as we are. So get in. So game one here is just going to be sending one of these teams here on that sort of a nail biter. But there's just so much to win and so much more to lose as we head towards this first game between Todak and 10 Seconds Gaming Plus.
Yeah, this is going to be a head-scratcher here because, again, all of these teams want to be on top, but they also have a lot of elements that allow them to counter your opponents. These first 3 minutes for Todak are going to be so crucial.
You just got to make sure that they don't really give advantages to 10 Seconds Gaming Plus because they have been rolling discipline, and if they actually slip up one little bit of that tiny room of a window, 10 Seconds Gaming Plus will be able to punish them. And speaking of a punish, the health bars left from the top of E1 and X-Ray here, dealing low for Obuyan pretty much early. Interesting to know that this Kufa has been holding on its soul for some time. Well, we see Selena going in for some cans.
Yeah, they want to make sure they want to punish the top side of the map. Looks like Changa is kind of forced to wait this one out, but that means the top side with Chiku as well as Valir will be able to defend themselves if a dive is evident. Level 4 is probably when they want to set that up, but the pressure that's going to be coming out of them is going to be tough.
Well, Chiku here have to give way. They know that if he stays under that tower, he will be taken down. 4 members through to try to secure the first tower of the game. But here comes Iwa as well as Nenas. And Nenas getting knocked right over the wall. Flicker being popped there. And look at the damage over to Mimo. He walks away alive.
This is actually genius. I think Todak was setting up for this quite well. They defend the bottom side. On 10 seconds gamer, we're looking to get an early tower. Todak, great defense coming in for the backside. Quick rotations. They got to keep this up. Chanda already popping in the meteor shower. They're pulling back. They need to get out of here. Sure is so low. X-Ray is in trouble. He flickers on out of there. But the winner, come here for X-Ray. 1 HP. He's alive. He's pulling backwards. He needs to breathe. Nobody has died just yet. First blood is still on the table.
Close calculations, that could have been the blaze inside, giving away first blood to 10 seconds gaming plus. Now, going for a little bit more jungle raids, as this is the signature playstyle for 10 seconds gaming. Papa here getting his first boots of the day. Well, of course, will secure the first tower for 10 seconds gaming plus, giving them a little bit of the lead, but Todak opting to actually equalize with that turtle attempt.
Yeah, they need to make sure they break the Figuraga armor from Papa. Oh, Gadokacha coming in, but this guy got an avatar. He takes quite a bit of damage here. The backline, Papa's in trouble, but they gotta be careful. Obuyan just getting ready in the brush to collapse on them. They're gonna try and punish Papa here.
Oh, speaking of a punishment, Shiku will be the guy who gets first blood in this series.
Finally, first blood has been broken, but look at the gold difference from both of these sides. 10 seconds gaming, at least 500 gold, 600 gold ahead, but that might slowly change if Todak is able to break that first turret.
Well, Todak is still looking to actually find a way to break down those objectives like you said, but Obuyan here opting to actually get him capped out. So right here, whoa, big dives coming from Tomibo. A little bit of distance though for that group to commit.
Yeah, it looks like Moon did take the flicker instead of the sprint. He does not want to get caught. Ooh, quite a bit of damage here, but they're not going to commit onto the Grok. They're just going to continue to the bottom side. Obuyan's in trouble. He takes quite a bit of damage. He's by himself. The Death Sonata. Chiku gets a nice kill with the turtle buff.
This is the first time I'm seeing mistakes coming out from the side of 10 seconds gaming plus, and that was that sort of rotation where they don't really have any information by the corner of the river, as now Totaka walking to a trap. Wall charge won't be able to take him down for now.
Yeah, that's going to chunk them out. They're going to trade their bottom lane for the top side. Again, remember, 10 Seconds Gaming, despite them giving kills, they're still pretty even in terms of the gold, and they still haven't broken the top side.
Whoa, Flicker coming out from the Grok, and Obuya has already got himself a little bit of backup, so they will possibly hold on for this for a little longer. As we look into some of these spells here, we do have Arrival on Obuya. Usually we do see Flickers heading into some pick for like Kufra, but instead, this is something that's definitely different where they could easily go in for the teleportation to save other lanes.
Yeah, and I think right now the utility of the battle spells coming in from 10 Second Gaming is just so important here. X-Ray is going to get that first initial destruction. Obuyat following like how that Filipino finals were happening out, tries to push the siege turret away with the Wrath. X-Ray might be in trouble, forces out the Flicker. Top side is where the next fight is about there, but Sure goes down, revitalizes a little too late. Chiku with the Rondo goes forward, and he doesn't exactly get that last couple of hits to ensure the crit, but they should be able to secure Turtle.
I just love how the tempo is being set right here, and now Flicker as we pop by Tomimo, this means there is nowhere to run, no escape whatsoever. One more kill, and it's towards the side of Todak, and wow, 3-0. This is so much of all these noise coming from the fans as they are performing out in mind.
Oh, Chiku, one more kill. That turtle buff is just making him an absolute beast.
Whoa, 5. I was just talking about 3 kills out of nowhere. It has all stacked up. Now Todak here, 15k versus 13k.
Yeah.
As we will see one more fall. There it goes, counter into the supply, but it's a 4v1, outnumber, outlasted, but X-Ray has tanked it all.
Okay. I mean, look at how the map is being played. Tier 2 is being caught on the other side. It's 0-6, but again, they're even in turrets, and finally Todak have developed a lead for themselves. It's been a while, but now Todak might actually be able to start ramping up into this game.
Yeah, and this is where things get a little bit out of control, but 10 Seconds Gaming Plus, I do believe that they could stall this out for a little bit longer, and eventually Papa might get those right items in, as he still doesn't have that sort of tankiness to actually front the battle. And look at the goal graph here, slowly sliding in towards the side of Todak, and now 3k goal lead, you can close it out with one good fight.
Yeah, and Minas just bought his Ice Beats 1 as well, so if 10 Seconds Gaming are looking for those big engages, Obuyat needs to land it on top of both Chiku as well as Linas to make it 100% effective, or maybe even Moon if he gets lucky.
Yeah, and now I'm not too sure how lucky could they really get though when you're facing off the best of Japan. And Totaka here, 1 versus 1 won't change it. Chico is so nasty. He didn't need any help.
Somebody clip that. That was absolutely insane. Both sides playing at the top of their game there, but Chico survives with 1 HP thanks to the invulnerability of the Death Sonata every single shot.
And that was a critical pull right there. I wouldn't have thought. I thought it takes 2 more auto attacks coming from the Granger, but 1 shot was all it takes. And of course, that's what they get here. 10 Seconds Gaming Plus already losing all too much. And Sure here overcommitting to that fight. That's not going to be able to actually do all too much. The shower has been utilized by Moon. But now, Todak will be pushing in from all directions except for the bottom lane.
Yeah, and right now, Nanas, he's playing in the back line. Every single time they go for an initial engage, he's just peeling off the tanks like, hey, we don't want you to get overwhelmed. We have like a little bit of a barrier, a little bit of a circle of safety that you need to be in. As long as they stay in range and Nanas does his job, he will find another one. He might actually get it. Tomemo is actually going out of here. Papa in the back line. Chico's in trouble. He goes down after the last insanity. Peeled him up. Sure is taking quite a bit of damage, but Nanas, he's on the opposite side. He needs to be with his team to protect them. He's doing a lot of damage to Obuya, but it's not going to be enough. As they walk away, it's going to be a 1-0 trade.
I just like how 10 Seconds Gaming Plus, they do know what's the max ranges hitting it towards the opponent's side. As we saw, they were actually trying to commit inside of the jungle. They did take down Chiku though, but
they almost had Tomibo getting clipped out, and he had to flicker at the sort of max range as well.
Yeah.
And if he did not flicker, he would have died right there, right then.
Exactly. And now, see, that's the thing. Nanas has to be aware. He's trying to keep away the priority target, which is Obuyan. But in situations like that, he kind of needs to peel back with the team, kind of slowly keep the distance, maintain it, but still deal enough damage to kind of splash it across. So if he's not efficient with his spells, that might net them the loss later on into the game.
Efficiency is definitely of utmost importance. Missile arrow lands. E1, the only one alive right in the middle. But E1 survives with the wall charge. He hits right outside. And X-Ray here turns it around, tries to get one kill off. There's immortality as well. So he will go in to revive himself. And now, First Lord already appearing.
Wait, Chico on the bottom side. He's trying to get rid of this inhibitor. They're looking to Lord. They're all recalling. They have to take this out. Masha, she's going to be running all their way. She can solo this Lord, but she has backup just in case. They pull a lot of pressure. Two people have gone to the bot side to take care of Chico here, but Lord is now in the hands of Tora.
2 versus 1 over bottom side, which means that 10 seconds gaming plus might have to give out away this First Lord as they go on a reset once more. Chiku only being brought down to 40%, but Tataka already getting shredded to pieces by only a Grok. They don't really need to actually overcommit this, and they understood all too much. Chiku still on the push, so Toda can get either one of these objectives.
Looks like Chiku just get initially taunted, but he has to back away. But now Lord is in the hands of Todak. There's nothing they can do. They get a kill onto the Joe, but on the opposite side of the map, Selena did get the initial kill onto Chiku. This is going to be A-OK. They just need to push slowly. First Lord of the game. Of the day for Todak here. 3 to 11 score. Todak are in the lead. They need to make this count.
I'm not too sure right now what 10 seconds gaming plus could possibly do, because they're pretty much under level at this point in time, and Chiku is that beast that's standing right before their eyes, and they could not even get anywhere close to actually finish them off without stacking at least 2 units or 3.
I think argument. Oh no, Papa, the Karaga armor is being broke. Obuyan needs to block. They need to reset right now. They need to reset because 10 Seconds Gaming will be able to respond to the waves. They've cleared top, they've cleared middle. Now it's just the Lord. Todak, they want to slow this down to allow Chiku to get there quicker, but 10 Seconds Gaming, they need to cut off rotation paths and quickly as possible. Destroy that Lord. E1. Every single time he is slowing down this wave. This is genius.
This is definitely a stroke of genius instead of luck. And here comes the Lord hitting out the bottom side here. Moon tries to suppress them with a little bit of that chunk of damage getting out. And here comes Ewan crashing right in as the Krupa is the first one to fall. And there goes Papa here defending for their life. X-Ray tries to flicker out, but that won't be a great catch coming from Tataka. And now Ewan getting surrounded. And there's only going to be Moon trying to send him out with a mirror shower. And it's too little too late. 4 members taken down from the side of Todak, and 10 seconds game plus. Hang on for dear life.
It was a risky 50-50 there, but 10 Seconds Gaming managed to come up on top. The Abyssal Arrow onto Chiku, stopping him getting the second and third shots of the Death Sonata. Made it actually a huge difference there because of a lot of the damage comes from both Moon as well as Chiku.
Yep, and looking at that fight, how they actually initiated was really hard to actually follow up to begin with. Let's have a look into the instant replay brought to you by U-Mobile. Look at that go. Like, they were in between and torn apart, split into 2, and there's nothing much that Moon can even do because she's so far away.
Yep, and look at Tomebo. Like, the thing is, he finds these angles, he gets trucked out. The last Insanity just clipped at the very edge. I mean, Todak have to be so much more careful here when they play out their fights. They got a little too greedy to get that inhibitor. Yes, they did get it. However, they lost so many members, and now they have to wait for the second Lord. This is their last window to end the game before 10 seconds start catching up.
Well, we're already seeing them close up a little bit of that sort of the goal lead that they had. It was more than 10k goal difference, but here goes Tataka here, getting shredded for a little bit more. But Tataka does not have to worry all too much because there is his allies backing him up.
Yeah, agree. I definitely agree. But like, give it 2 more seconds, he would have died there. Masha is an absolute beast right now. Chiku just fought the Berserker's Fury. 10 Seconds Gaming, they're 7-8k behind actually, and that's what's scary because you're seeing like carries like Chiku picking up their big boy items, their final items to really set them apart from 10-second gaming. They need to land their damage. If they get caught by an abyssal arrow or a last insanity or maybe even Totaka in the back line and get one shot, it's over.
We've already seen Tomibo pulling off a lot of turnarounds and clutch moments throughout the entirety of the tournament. And now it's that late game where Selena, for some may say, it may not be as effective heading in towards early to mid game. But once those items are up, they're still pretty much lethal. And, well, Mood coming up with that meteor shower. Who's already expended this. But Lord coming up within 22 seconds right here. They might just have to pick up this fight. As we see, the wall has been brought up.
Chiku's in trouble. The back line is dead. Oh, wait. They actually turned it around. They actually turned it around. Chiku's alive. And now they're going to continue the fight. They might actually win this. Todak is already in front of them. They get two. They've got their initial kill. 2 kills again. They're going to break Obuyan's spirit. Break his immortality. And now they're looking to end this game.
They are tearing down the Japanese side, and we saw them splitting half the map. That was a little bit way too much to actually handle for the Japanese team. And wow, they also went to chase down Moon, and they could not even get anywhere close to that. Papa now trying to actually keep Todak members right here as X-Ray is soloing that Lord. And here comes Papa popping out the last insanity. Series is going to be charging at the back. They know that this is a lost cause. But the wall, the Great Barrier has been brought up. Immortality being bought there by Tong, and they have lost yet another Lord.
Oh my goodness, I can feel the ground shaking as the crowd is getting ready for the end game here. Todak 10K ahead. 10-second gaming. I mean, they're getting their final few items, but this 50-50 is going to be everything as Lord is going to be walking up to that crystal.
Now looking at those items, I'm just fixating my eyes on Chiku because this guy here is possibly going to complete his very final item already in a span of 15 minutes.
Yeah, Rose Gold Meteor. He needs to ensure he doesn't die. I'm surprised he didn't go for something like Immortality, but he's like, no. I just need a shield. I can outplay them. I don't need the safety of an Immortality.
Yeah, he's definitely a little bit more bold. Yep, Chiku, as we speak of him, gets that Rose Gold Meteor, and to that have no other objective than to escort the Lord to finish off the game. Maybe break down the mid lane if they may, but 10-6 game plus, they need to get prepared for this. One abyssal arrow lands onto the unit with Immortality. Doesn't really mean too much, but there's just so many safety net for Todak as they have already gotten all the sort of lead that they get. And here comes the battle.
Surai, he's in trouble. Obuya gets to the backline. Moon is in trouble. He quickly uses the Winter Truncheon. They're making their way forward. Mimas, he's peeling them up, but Lord is in trouble. They lose mid-turret. Chiku sees the opportunity. Masha in the top side. He breaks it all the way through. He wants to get to the crystal. The Death Sonata chunking out to Mabel. They get a mega kill. They're walking in to win this game. Todak take game 1.
What a perfect finisher on the side of Todak here, as they are one game away to head in towards the next round. 10 seconds gaming plus. Did not have any replies at all. We see this Masha on the top lane. The Ranger over a mid. Lord and the rest of it being escorted, and they've just got all it takes to take game 1.
Yeah, I am just, wow, that was a great game overall, and I think the biggest factor for all of them is the fact that they all had Flicker. Every single time someone was about to get caught, they had Flicker already, and they made sure they played a little bit safer around that. Usually Chunga goes for, sprint, but this time it's all about making the plays, all about repositioning. They understood that it looks like Todak is ready.
Yeah, and we definitely see it in their eyes. The passion is burning, not only from them, from the fans as well. And wow, this might just be history being made, because the only team that has ever managed to defeat 10 seconds gaming plus was EVOS Legends, because the Japanese side has never lost a single matchup before heading into its M1. Now, Look at this go. The highest GPN will definitely be Chiku right here. And look at the damage output coming from 10 seconds gaming plus, where the expert did so much more damage, but it's not really much to compare with when it's 77k of damage being dealt by this Ranger alone.
I definitely agree here. I think Chiku deserves this MVP more likely, because it's not even with the help of his tanks kind of setting it up, because there isn't much setup here. you really don't have anything to kind of work off of. You don't have the Kaja, you don't have a Gathon, you don't even have a Kufra to make sure that they are in one place so they can't get to you. He has to play by himself. He depends on Valir to kind of peel off for him. Grok kind of does the same thing, goes for that disruption, but there isn't anything to set up kills for. He just has to play on his own. And I think Chiku, holy cow, this kid is absolutely amazing.
I might just perhaps look for that sort of a Granger ban for 10 seconds gaming plus because this is way too much. This kind of reminds me of that MPL MYG finals where it's either you got to snatch this pick away or just ban it away. And without a doubt, this is definitely Chiku here as the MVP of Game 1.
Yeah, I mean, holy cow, he played a mean Granger overall. High commendation to him. Fighting, farming, he barely pushes, he barely supports. 25% of total team gold earned. And I think they ended it with like, what? 49, 52K? 25% of that is absolutely too much gold on one person.
It's too much. You can basically, hey, I'm going to donate you some gold if you really need to, but of course you can't do that in Mobile Legends in that sort of sense. Now, wow, I just talk about this draft here on how they actually pick with that huge priority, and they knew what to ban already. And especially on the red side, immediately locking down the key pick for E1. He got his Grok. He's a happy kid right there. And eventually, they didn't even think twice on securing that Granger as well.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Whew, coming into this next game here, 10-second gaming, they have to kind of revamp the strategy because, number one, that early game did not go well for them as much as they wanted to. They played around the Selena. The flickers got them out of pinch situations. The 50-50s sort of went both ways, to be honest, but it really came down to that scaling, and Granger just scaled so much better in comparison to that X-Borg.
Yeah, X-Borg, of course, had a little bit of that early game pressure. There was that one point that they dove in with the last Saturday.
Yeah.
Almost getting first blood, though, and that's definitely the first time ever that I've seen 10 seconds gaming plus going in for those highlight reels. Speaking of highlight reels right here, let's head into this highlight where we saw early game, that first blood happening over the bottom side. But I love the setup that was being done in the early phase in top lane as well.
Yeah, and they were making sure Torak was playing a strong game because they understand the fundamentals as well. I mentioned this during the regular season when they were in the MPL. They had strong fundamentals. They are an experienced team. They've been playing around competitions around Malaysia, and even online tournaments when they weren't in the MPL. So these guys have been, garnering. They've been in the hyperbolic time chamber for all this time to finally emerge as these legendary players. But 10 Seconds Gaming, on the other hand, did make a couple of blunders, which made it so much easier for Torak to get this game.
Yeah, and it's really hard for them to actually get caught out because they always move around as a unit. As we saw, they were stacked as 4. Look at even Chico. This is definitely that
close
play of the game as he went in for the flicker, and even when the enemy did the same as well. That's just one shot, one kill right there. And this was, that moment where they thought that they could actually have it all by setting up this dive, but it was way too much and too huge of a distance for them to actually connect the dots to actually take down members of 10 Seconds Gaming Plus. And they had a little bit of that breathing room, but Obuyan here, all he had was just to take down Chico right there. But even Sure bailed out that, so he had to give up his life while the rest of the members are chasing down one Changer.
Yeah, and I think here's where the problem becomes very apparent here because, number one, the X-Borg, yes, it does a decent amount of damage at most, and yes, it is survivable. The Last Insanity is an extremely powerful spell. However, when it comes down, when you really break it down to DPS, he does not out-DPS something like a Lunox or something like a Harith. Yes, he has a lot of AoE, but it just does not compare.
Yeah, it does not make the cut at all. So I do believe they need a different draft coming into the picture for game number 2 because they were lacking in damages. It's not that they can't fight at all. It's more like they needed more burst. They needed more damage output. They do have so many of all these great frontliners, but when you don't get ahead, when you don't really get enough that goal and you get starved out, then your tanks don't really mean too much anyways heading to the late game.
Yeah, especially when you're comparing like, oh, let's do DPS over a scale of time, The longer the game goes, the more damage Xbox is going to deal. But however, when you have someone who scales like a Granger, it's like he's completely out DPSing you. Your AoE doesn't mean anything when we're running around the map, and I completely outrange you. So at what point do you say, hey, this isn't going to work anymore? that's the late game. And I think 10 Seconds Gaming need to revamp in terms of prioritizing, maybe putting Xborg into a fighter position, and maybe securing themselves some scaling, because I think Todak have proven that they are not going to be pushed over from an early game comp.
Yeah, we talk about that early game comp where 10 Seconds Gaming Plus definitely have that upper hand, but Choda definitely proved this wrong and said, hey, as long as we stay together, as long as we know how to actually set up a counter engagement, then that will be possibly our game to take. And they did secure that game one in really great fashion. Now, of course, we're about to head into game two, and we're excited to break it down once more.
Yeah, but so far, I'm hearing that, getting some information about a little couple of words that, some insights into the thoughts and maybe, the emotions that these players must be experiencing considering the pressure that's on their backs coming into something branded as, M1 World Championship from MLBB. Let's have a look.
今回はまずグループ D で初戦がオニックフィリピンと戦うので、まずはそこで2連勝2回連続で勝ってそのままグループ D トップの成績で突破したいと思います。そして優勝を目指します。この日のために毎日朝は特訓モードで自分たちの練習を個人練習しております。それが結果につながると信じています。今回のグループ D ではまだあまり大会 MPL とかでは見てないロシアのチームがあるんですけれども、ロシアのチームは特殊なメタを使ってきます。トップに1人、ミドルルートに3人、ボットに1人、普通のインドネシアやフィリピンのメタと少し違うので、そこに気をつけたいと思っておりまして、あとはオニックフィリピン、こちらに対しては個人技術がもうトップレベル、そしてチームのドラフトが非常にうまいと思っています。で他のチームよりもうまいので、誰もオニックのドラフトには勝てないと思います。私たちは除いてます。
Possibly the hardest working team of the entirety of the tournament. They start all their training from early all the way to the end, and they always come in prepared. But they were not really ready for what Toda has brought on the table for that game one that we just witnessed. And now, back to the drawing board that they go. They even say that they take 2 months to draft out against teams like RRQ, teams like EVOS, and now they really got to make sure that they get back to basics and see what really works out against Toda.
I mean, the hard work definitely is showing for the side of 10 Seconds Gaming. They come a long, long way to compete here at the M1, and I think Todak is posing a great threat to that. They won't be going down without a fight, and I'm expecting them to draft to their strengths because they're getting pushed back into a corner. You can't play something that's a little 50-50. You have to play something that's comfortable, get it, bring it to a 1-1, and then look for that killing blow.
I feel like for the side of 10 Seconds Game Plus, they are a lot more ready for that sort of a scaling comp. And now, back into the graph we go, as we'll see the Rovela 100% ban rate against the likes of 10 Seconds Gaming.
Yeah, a lot of respect coming out of 10 Seconds Gaming as well, because they're deciding, you know what, we're not going to deal with this Valir. Like, Ninas, you did a little too much work. We couldn't look for those engage because you kept on pushing us back. Too frustrating. Get it out of my face.
That's just the best way to put it in that sort of sense. And that's also that really huge pocket pick that Toda goes for from time to time. Baxia being removed. Now, this is because of that group stage matchup where we saw them really having that Baxia running around, opening some croissants, and just tanking out so much of that damage. So, with that, they open up the Harem, but they will pick it up for themselves.
Yeah, and here, what's interesting is that Baxia is out of the picture. 10 Seconds Gaming are going to go for the X-Barg, and I think Todak were ready to deal with that, as well as the Grok. High loss has been set up perfectly by Todak. They could pick it up for themselves as, a pretty decent tank, does the job extremely well, and maybe set up with something else like a Kufra on top of it.
Well, I really like how you actually process it so well, because they ban out the Baxia, which is a great possible counterpick to that Masha as well, that high loss as well. Now, back towards the side of 10 Seconds Gaming Plus real soon after they lock this pick in.
Lilia. Ooh, it's a Lilia against Harith matchup, which again, it is pretty dicey because Lilia needs to play at a much higher level to land the abilities.